Alright folks, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. So today's actually the day after the dyno tune, and essentially I didn't want to record yesterday because things certainly did not go to plan. Basically, the short of it is that I'd purchased a billet flow 2.76 upper pulley for my stock Eaton blower on my 03 Terminator Cobra, and as you guys know, it's a pretty common setup and pretty good one. It also had the 100mm idlers included in that as well. The, I believe, 3 or 4 idler pulleys, as well as the snub idler and upper pulley setup for the car. Super excited to put that on, and I get to the dyno place at Heideman Racing Dynamics in Houston. Come to find out the hub for the upper pulley was missing, so I actually couldn't install the kit. So I was pretty bummed out. I ended up tuning the car with the 2.9 pulley that was on the car when I had initially purchased it. And at first I was upset that, you know, it probably wasn't going to make half as much power as a 2.76. And come to find out, the numbers were actually not too bad. So before I keep yapping and talk for the rest of this video, I'm going to let you guys get the clips from the dyno, which was yesterday. I'm gonna put those on now so you guys can see how that went, show you guys the numbers to see what type of power my 03 Terminator Cobra made on the dyno.
Able to run my errand and get my fuel delivered. So, a couple things from those clips from the dyno.
again, at Heideman Racing Dynamics. Chris did a phenomenal job with the Cobra. He's tuned so many of them. He's already got, you know, 2 or 3 of them he's actually working on that have Whipple 2.9s at his shop currently. So definitely knows what he's doing. So if you guys are anywhere near Houston or in Texas, highly recommend taking your Cobra to get work done with Chris at HRD. That being said, once he took apart a few things, we noticed that the spark plug on the number 8 cylinder clearly had a blowout previously. So it had the little sleeve on it because I have an 03 Cobra, and I guess it was an earlier production model where they had the 4 threads instead of the 9 threads for the spark plugs. And so fairly common issue with the cars, or seems to be at least. And so what he had to do was take a look at the rest of the plugs, make sure they were all good, and I wasn't gonna be misfiring when he was pushing it on the dyno. So what he also noticed was that the previous owner, once again, messing about, had put in an aftermarket coil pack on the number 8 spark plug. So basically there's only one aftermarket one, and all other 7 cylinders have the Motorcraft, you know, OEM Ford spec. So we decided to replace all the spark plugs, replace the sleeve on that number 8 cylinder. There were no compression issues, which was great. I think if there were compression issues with that number 8 cylinder, this car would be having some much more serious problems, but no issues there. And replaced the plugs, replaced that cold pack, so we were good to go to get the car dynoed. From that point, that was after the initial pull that he noticed that it was, for one, running super lean, and for 2, was not making anywhere near the power that it should be with the 2.9 pulley. The initial dyno tune that I got the car with from whatever tuning shop that the previous owner had taken it to, the car made 390 horsepower to the wheels, and you know, around 400 pound-feet of torque, I believe, from what the tune was when they had done it. I'm gonna try and attempt a U-turn with this horrible turn radius. All right, good to go. So basically, Chris told me that the previous tune on the car was just so bad that you guys saw that it was making 390 horsepower to the wheels, just around 400 pound-feet of torque. And with a 2.9 upper pulley, I don't believe there's any idlers when I first got the car, but still, those numbers are way too close to stock that you could be getting with basically an intake, exhaust, and no tune. With the tune, you should be making closer to 450. And so that's what we were able to achieve on the dyno yesterday. So certainly ended up being a good outcome, but the whole process was a little frustrating because realizing that, you know, I didn't have the hub for the billet flow setup. I thought, you know, it wasn't a returnable product, so, you know, I was gonna be screwed, but ended up being able to return it, so all is well on that front, and the car made 450 on the dyno, which I'm pretty happy about. That translates to, give or take, a little over 500 horsepower to the crank, which, I mean, is a massive improvement over stock, and I'm super happy about. I'll tell you, on the road, it's like a night and day difference from when I brought the car in. Obviously, there were some changes that I made to the car, including the intake, you know, the full exhaust system with the SLP Catted X-Pipe, which added cats to the car, as well as the Magnaflow Street Series Catback system. And so it was running super lean, but with the tune, it just sounds a lot healthier, and the car drives so much better. So once again, the current setup on the car is pretty much just stock long block, upper pulley 2.9, Catted SLP X-Pipe, Catback exhaust from Magnaflow, K&N Intake, and that's pretty much it. I mean, almost stock motor, well, all stock motor, and pretty much just bolt-ons and car makes 450 to the wheels, over 500 to the crank. And I'm definitely happy with the setup that I have on the car right now. And until I do probably like a Whipple supercharger setup or something like that, I'll probably keep it the way it is for quite some time. It's definitely pretty drivable on the street, not too much power, but I definitely do need to switch up the wheel setup so I can get the 17 by 10.5s in the rear with a 315, 35 rubber in the back, so I'm not getting any slip when I'm going from first to second or just pulling from first or second gear. All right, so that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like down below, comment, subscribe, do all those good things, and stay tuned for the next update on my Terminator Cobra.